They slowly dying.
Slowly dying.
This is the Slowly Dying Podcast.
This is the best podcast.
Yeah. I want to hear it now.
Hey guys, what's poppin'? It's Becca and
Hey guys, it's Bronte.
we're doing part 2 of
Haters.
Haters. I hope you guys liked the first episode. This is gonna be part 2, so
How to deal with haters.
yeah, we need the haters gonna get it poppin' in this one.
Mm-hmm.
So
how to combat your haters and feeling confident about it.
Yeah, I know. I feel like the sun's in my eyes over there. But, no, I think this is an important one because we didn't want to leave you guys hanging about, like, oh, this is all about haters. But I think it's really important how we respond to haters.
Yes.
Um,
Because I feel like
and how
that's
you deal with them.
Yeah. And that's how you, I feel like that's how you handle a situation, too.
Yeah, what's that quote? It's always like, oh, it's 90 or 10% of what somebody does to you, but it's like 90% of like how you deal with it.
Yeah, how you handle it.
And I think like this is like a perfect example. Like you can have people hate on you and be jealous and whatever, but you need to step back and see how you deal with it. And I feel like there's a lot of things how you can deal with things. And not every hater that you're gonna come in, contact with, you can't do it all the same. There's different ways to deal with haters.
Yeah. And I think the first big one is ignoring them.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes them even more mad. Like, they get really mad, at least in my experience.
Yeah, and easier said than done ignoring them. There's
Yeah,
different ways to ignore them, and it's really, really hard, especially when you're in school, especially even if you're their closest friend. Yeah. It is really hard. It is easier said than done, and I think it comes over time, but there are different ways to ignore them.
But I feel like sometimes you can't always ignore them. Like,
True.
Sometimes it gets to the point where it's, like, so toxic that it's, like, it's not good for you.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I said in our previous episode, if you didn't hear, I partially left a job because a coworker who I thought I was really close with was so toxic I couldn't stand him anymore.
Yeah.
And I went to my manager multiple times, even asking how I should handle it, and I would try, and it would just not work.
Yeah.
So I wanted to remove myself from the situation. It isn't ignoring it, it's just removing. They might interpret it as ignoring, but...
Well, I felt like you started off like you ignored them and then it didn't work, so you had to find, like, a new path.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I think usually ignoring them, because I feel like that they want attention. They're, like, narcissists. Like, they just, like, want you to, like, feel... Like, they want you to not feel as happy as you were before, because then if you're not feeling as happy, then they're, I feel like they gain control.
Yeah.
And, like, it's just very, like, sickening.
And some of them do get off on it as well. They want to feel empowered. They want to feel above everyone else. Don't let them have that. Don't let them take away anything from you.
Yeah.
Don't let them take away your energy.
Because
it's not
they're
worth
taking
it.
away from you. They're not taking away from them.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to remember, like, you're important.
Mm-hmm.
Your thoughts, your feelings, everything that you, whatever you work towards and they're hating on, like, don't scoop to their level.
Nope.
So, but, sometimes you can't ignore them. And I feel like there are other ways, to go about it. I mean, like I said before, like, using the fuel, like, as, like, fire, like, fire is fuel, whatever. Like, somebody's hating, like, just, turn it around and be like, well, I must be doing something good, so keep doing it and keep working harder.
Yep.
And sometimes haters, like, if they see that they're not being bothered, they'll leave you alone.
Yep.
And I think that's, not everyone, but most of the time. Mm-hmm. Would you agree?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what it is. Sometimes it depends on the type of hater.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time they just want to one-up you.
Yeah.
Most of the time they just don't want to be happy for you. But they just see the reflection of what they want in you. And instead of being happy for you and instead of seeking guidance and maybe advice, they want to bring you down. Because that's the only way they see how.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's weird, honestly.
So just keep going. Don't stop.
Yeah.
Just keep doing what you're doing. You're doing something right.
Sometimes, like I said before, sometimes those things don't work. Then you kind of got to call them out, maybe.
Yeah.
Because I feel like sometimes haters, like, you know, it's like a dog. Like, I mean, they're all talk but no bite. Like, when somebody, like, goes to bite them, it's like they run away. They don't want any part of the fight.
Because not a lot of people approach them.
Yeah. Like
Not a lot of people say it in the moment.
Yeah, like I said with the pork chops, like, I called her out, and she was nowhere to be found in class.
She knew.
She knew, because somebody actually stood up to her. Because not a lot of people stand up for, you know, themselves.
Nope, and a lot of people stand up for other people when they hear those haters talking bad about them.
And I feel like that's just as worse.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you don't want to always put yourself in other people's drama. I get that. But if somebody is legit, like, being bullied or, like, just hated on or, like, something where you can just be like, all right, I think it's time for us to knock it off, and you don't do that, then you're just as guilty.
Yeah. And even by addressing it to the person who that hater is talking about is confronting it.
Yeah.
Like, because you are letting that person know, this is an issue. I don't like hearing about it. I just don't want to get in the middle.
Yeah, that's
much
fine,
better
too.
than not saying anything.
Yeah.
It's so much better than, oh, I'm just not going to do anything about it.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Sort of thing. So, but also too, going off of that, controlling your anger is very important. Like, don't get me wrong, we're all not perfect.
No.
Like, I've popped off. Becca's popped off. We've all popped off.
I get it popping, guys.
She gets it popping. But controlling our anger is so important because I feel like a lot of the time that's what they want you to do. Because they know it bugs you, which is messed up.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you just lose it, you are still standing up for yourself, but it doesn't come off that way.
Then they make you sound like you're crazy.
Yes.
But I think, like, sometimes, you know, we need to step back and, like, take a self-reflection and be like, all right, like, let me be the bigger person here. Because half the time, they'll usually back down. If they see that something's not bothering you and they'll get mad for a little bit, they'll usually back down.
Yeah.
If they don't, then confront them and be like, yo, what's your problem?
Yeah.
Usually they'll back down. If not, then, I mean, call the police at that point.
Call the police.
Like, come on, like, guys. But
someone get back up.
call me, I'll get it popping.
Oh, man. Yeah, if I ever needed backup, I got Becca on my side, so
We
I
live
got
like
that.
10 minutes away.
Yeah, if I ever needed that at school, and, round back.
But, and, you know, we're not perfect. You know, nobody's perfect. But it's just, you know, guys, we're too old for this. Like, it's 2020. Like, get it together, people. Mm-hmm. But.
And, I mean, this goes back to us loving Google. We love Google.
We love Google.
And
Google helps us through nursing school, guys.
Oh, my God. And looking up little tips, I loved whatever one blog said about this topic. It said, understand you are doing things right.
Yeah.
It is so hard not to believe that. It is so hard to believe that you're not doing anything right when you're hearing backlash from a hater. Haters are your number one fan. Mm-hmm. If they're still following you, if they're still running their mouths, you are doing something right.
Yeah.
Unless you're being rude. Like, okay, that's different. But if they're just hating on your accomplishments and how much you've strived in life and how much you've grown as a person, you are doing something right.
Yeah.
And I think from there, you gain the confidence of knowing how to confront your haters or how you yourself like confronting your haters.
Yeah.
And that took me a while to understand. And once I was comfortable with myself, I don't care what anyone says about me.
Yeah. It's not an overnight thing. Like, you don't just, stand up for yourself and this and that. I mean, if you do, great for you. But, like, it's a process. I mean, it's a process to know who you are and what you believe and what you're going to take from people and what you're not.
Yeah. And you said take it as a compliment. I love that.
I think you should, because you're doing something right. I mean, nobody hates on somebody. Guys, the definition of a hater, the opposite is a fan.
Ooh.
Haters are fans, guys. Come on. Like,
yes.
And not the one that goes in circle and squirts the air out. I'm talking about the fan, your number one fan. Like, shout out to our super fans. But
Yes.
I don't think they're haters, but I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
Because you're doing something that they don't like, and if they don't like it, I mean, they're jealous. So
I know, like, going back in time a little bit for me, I remember talking to my mom about this, and I used to be so paranoid about what people thought. And in our last episode, I said, or I quoted my mom. She said, not everyone is going to like you. And that quote changed my life forever. Mm-hmm. But she also told me to be a humble human being. She also told me to watch my attitude. Yeah. And she also told me to know when you know you are being a respectful and kind human being, then you know people are just hating on you for no apparent reason.
Yeah. Always check yourself.
Yeah.
You know, like, just make sure you're not, you know, doing something where somebody hates it and they have a valid reason to hate it.
Yeah, and listen to them, too. And talk to them. Mm-hmm. It takes both sides to come together and talk as human beings. But it's another thing to listen to them and listen to their reasoning. If their reasoning is outlandish, like, then, I just didn't like you because you're a nice human being, okay, then
there's your answer.
Keep going. Keep being that kind human being. But if they're like, hey, I didn't like you when you made that face when I made this compliment, okay, we have something to talk about, but is it really something, or is it really worth taking it this far as to...
Yeah. Don't take it personal. Mm-hmm. And I feel like, I mean, I learned that, especially in my early 20s. Like, I took everything personal, and I still sometimes do. I have to, like, check myself. But it's like, I can't be like, oh, they don't like me because X, Y, and Z, and I'm just, there's something wrong with me. Like, they probably hate everybody who does that X, Y, and Z. It's not just you.
Yeah, don't think it's just you.
My dad always used to say, it's not always about you.
Yes.
And it is true. Like, you know, and if they don't hate on you no more, just remember they're going to go hate on somebody else. So, haters usually don't stop because one person, you know, maybe, hopefully, that, you know, if that one person, you know, hopefully the pork chop person, maybe she'll stop acting that way.
And maybe you guys will become best friends.
Maybe. You know, and that's the thing, like, I try not to hold grudges. Like, if I clearly see that you're sorry for something and you're trying to work on yourself, like, it's great. Like, I'm happy for you. But
you still keep that ear out, though, you know?
Yeah, like, keep your, you know, enemies and haters the closest, because at the end of the day, like,
you never know.
They do what they do best. They hate.
Yeah.
But also, you know what I also used to ask people that were haters?
What?
Like, when I used to confront them, I'd be like, do you need, like, me to teach you how to do this?
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, confront them.
Oh. Okay.
And they would legit, like, turn, like, bright red.
Mm-hmm. Because they never think it's gonna, you know, they never think they're gonna be approached.
Yeah. And then they, like, shut down, or they'll play it off like, what are you talking about? Like, you're crazy. And I'm like, well, I am crazy, but...
Yeah, but I'm also a good human being.
Yeah.
And I know what's right and what's wrong, and bringing down people for no apparent reason is wrong.
Yeah.
It's unreal to think. And you said it earlier, before we recorded, to thank them.
Yeah. I feel like you should thank your haters, because sometimes I'm always like, oh, I wish I had no haters, or, you know, I hear other people say that, but I'm like, but without any haters, how do you know that you're doing it right?
Yeah.
I mean, you could have your fans and stuff, but sometimes your haters hype up, they get more hype.
Yeah. I used to be so paranoid about, again, I'll say it and I'll say it again a million times. I used to be so paranoid about having a bunch of friends. Yeah. Now it's like, I feel like I do know a lot of people, but I know who my genuine friends are, because I've been burned so badly. Like, maybe I just don't harp on it as much anymore because I'm just putting it behind me.
Yeah.
And I'm still nice to them, but they're still on my radar. Like, you know, I still don't fully trust them, but I have to thank them because it's made me a stronger human being. It's made me realize who are genuine friends, who will put in the effort, who will have my back, like, even when I'm not in the room.
Loyalty, guys.
Who is going to stab you in the back when you are not even in that room is huge. And I can go on hours about that.
And you're right. It's not even about who talks about you in the room. It's what they do behind your back when you ain't there. Mm-hmm. That's where it counts, guys.
Yeah.
And that's where you see the true colors in people.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And that can be a whole podcast by itself. But, you know, just... everything you do is a reflection of yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and words are very powerful. and you can't ever take them back.
Nope.
There's some things that I've said that I just wish I could. I didn't say that, but I can't.
Yeah.
You know, and there's things that people have said to me, like, that they won't ever take back, but they might not even know I think about it on a daily basis. Or, you know, I think about it once a week, whatever. And it's very powerful, and we really need to watch how we speak to people.
Yeah.
Like, it's all fun and games until something, you know, jabs through your heart or...
Yeah. Or you go home later and you cry about it. I've done that. I've been on the floor crying, like talking to my other friends, and I just like, I'm in disbelief half the time. I'm like, wow, I really love this person, or I really didn't think this person was capable of something like this. And it's so surprising. I think always have your guard up. Don't be naive, because this can happen. I used to have this naive personality that I wanted to please everyone. I wanted to do everything for anyone. And if I pleased people, that this wouldn't happen to me. Oh my gosh, was that the reality check I could ever get. And I just didn't understand it. I didn't understand how I could be so kind to people. And I knew I was kind. And it still wasn't good enough. And then hearing what these other people were saying about me from other people, I couldn't believe it. It just, or they would snap at me like it was like they were bottling it in. Like, oh my God, I hate how effing nice you are.
And I feel like maybe, like, I don't know if you can say this for you, like, when you're going through those kind of situations, it's like a wake-up call.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, wait, this is not normal. Why, I've never experienced this.
Yeah.
And you just learn on the go.
Yeah. And I think I've learned to look at myself better.
Yeah.
Can I look at myself in the mirror? And can I honestly say I was being a kind human being in that moment? There have been moments where I'm like, well, I snapped. That wasn't fair.
But sometimes you need to.
Sometimes you need to. But am I sorry? And
Yeah.
can I prove that I'm sorry? If in those moments. But in the moments where I'm kind and I'm genuine.
Yeah.
And sometimes I do say it how it is. And maybe I might speak up. But it comes from the heart. Like, if I can look in the mirror and know that, and if I'm being respectful and kind, then I know I am doing something right. And I know
It's
that...
a good feeling.
Yeah.
When you do, like, you self-reflect and you look in the mirror. Mm-hmm. And you're like, wow, like, I've come so far. Mm-hmm. So...
And deciphering if I am dealing with a hater. Are they just having a bad day, or are they really...
Ooh, that's a really good point.
Deciding if they're having a bad day, or did that truly come from the heart, or was there true emotion behind it?
Because everyone has the moment. Sometimes I'm like, especially with my friends, like, I'm always supportive. I'm like, yes, like, girls, come on, girl power. But sometimes I'm like, man, I wish I could do that too.
Yeah.
So it's never like jealousy with me. It's more like, oh my God, I need to be on that level. Or I need to do, like, I feel like all my friends, like, are like beauty queens. Like, they all know how to do hair and makeup. And girl, I just add a filter. Like, I ain't got time for that.
Filters
but, like,
are life.
Yes, if you look at my filters, they're guys, they got a filter. Like, come on. But
Becca posted a poppin'.
Yes,
selfie.
I posted a cute photo, but I don't look like that. I got some sunburns left. But that should be we should do a podcast on that. But
Yes.
image, because that's a really big one. But I just feel like, and you know what? Like, yeah, like, we're both girls and we feel like girls hate, but I think guys hate too.
Yes, they do.
They hate. I feel like maybe in a different way. I'm not a guy, so I can't speak for them, but
They
girls
definitely
be
hate
hating nasty though. Girls can get real nasty.
We're nasty guys. We
We
are.
are.
We really are.
So
I want someone to tell me otherwise, but we really are. Like, come on.
post a picture and be like, argue that.
Yeah.
But I think, like, hopefully we've given you guys a couple good insights of maybe how to handle your haters. And if you have other ways that you guys experience, please, I want to hear them.
Yeah.
Because maybe it will help me in my life or your life, you know?
Yeah, and just, like, learn to not take it personal.
Yeah.
Because that's so hard to do. I'm not saying that it's
Sometimes
easier or
it
harder.
is personal, though.
Oh, yes.
It's hard, trust me.
There have been moments where I've been in where it's all been put on the table. Like, we've had open discussions. Like, nothing leaves this room, but we let it all out. And I'm like, whoa, it is personal then.
Yeah.
Okay, then, all right. But if you know you are a genuine person, if you know that you're a kind person, and you know if you are a respectful person, Becca's making me crack up, sorry, then you're dealing with something different. You are probably dealing with a hater. So,
Yeah, it's just crazy. Sorry, guys. I had a little side conversation with somebody. But, did you read it?
oh yeah, oh wow.
Yeah. We'll share about that later, guys. But, do you have any other suggestions how to handle haters? I feel like I'm, you know, I feel like I ignore them, then I confront them, and then I just get nasty. Oh, and the last thing I do if, like, none of that works is I just block them because I just don't got time for it.
Yeah.
Block them, delete. I mean, sometimes you can't, but... Or you walk away. Be the bigger person, walk away. If they're having an argument, just be like, okay, this person's not mentally capable of handling this type of conversation and be an adult about it. So you just have to walk away.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, shout out to the friends that give friends advice such as do not waste your time on them.
Oh my gosh, I call you all the time and I'm like, wait, what should I say? And you're like, girl, don't give it no time.
I have had to have it multiple times. Like, why are you wasting your energy?
Yes.
On that negative energy? The energy is being sucked out of you. Don't do it. Don't stoop to their level.
Keep going, because I have a really good one.
Ooh.
Guys, I'm hyper. I don't know what's going on with me. Probably because I had too much wine. But another thing that I do, like, let's say I'm mad at this person, right? Because they hated or they made me mad. Whatever, right? I will text Bronte or one of my other friends and pretend that it was them and send them that text message so I feel like I sent it to someone.
Yes, yeah.
Like, or I'll just type it out and then just delete it. Or write it down. Because sometimes writing down or typing it out and quote-unquote sending it, maybe not to that person, you feel like you send it to that person. I don't know if you've ever done that.
I've done that before.
Me a lot.
I'm like, please proofread this text message before I send it. Sometimes, too.
Yeah,
because sometimes
I
I do want to send it. I need to say something, but I want to stay classy. And I want to... It's so hard being the bigger person. It really is sometimes.
It's exhausting, too.
Yeah. And when it reaches that level of exhausting, and when it reaches that point where no matter what you do, nothing helps, drop them.
Drop them.
It's not even worth your time. And I'm still learning that. Because
it's so hard. Just because we can sit here and talk about it on our podcast don't make it any easier, guys.
No.
We're just as real as everyone else.
Yeah. It's so hard because sometimes I just want to believe in that person. But why, when they just keep shooting me down and shooting me down and shooting me down, I'm like, you know what?
Well, your flight or fight kicks in.
Yeah.
You know, you can flee away and be the bigger person, but eventually you're gonna, you know, you can only get punched in the face, quote unquote, like so many times that you're like, all right, I've had enough, I'm fighting back.
Sometimes I've gotten so numb with the fighting. I've reached the point in my life, if no one wants to give me the time of day, or if they want to prejudge me and they just want to assume things of me without even asking me or confronting me, it's not even worth my time. If you want to prejudge me, if you want to go ahead and think this and think that, or just, you know what, going off on one moment. Yeah. Because not everyone is perfect. And someone could be having a bad day. They could interpret you wrong. And then it
miscommunication's a big thing.
Yep. And then it just deems you as that person for the rest of the friendship. No. Yeah. Like, oh, Bronte, like you kind of laughed at something, and it wasn't funny to me. Oh, what? Like, oh, God, like, sorry. Like, I didn't know. Maybe I was talking to another person. I just laughed at that very moment. Stuff like that is so pathetic.
Miscommunication's a big thing, and I think, you know, you might think that somebody's hating on you, but maybe they're just trying to reach out for help, or maybe they don't mean it like that. I mean, usually people do. But there are times, I mean, the way that I talk, people might take it as, you know, this or this. But in reality, I didn't mean it like that.
Yep.
I've had, you know, because I have, like, such a deep, outspoken voice. So, I mean, I definitely can relate to that. But that's where the communication and talking like adults come in. Yeah. Because if you guys can, you know, get on that same level and communicate, maybe they won't hate you. Or maybe they never hated you in the first place.
No, because I feel like half the time, and you are right, they're calling out for help. Yeah. They want something from you, whether it's a friendship or tips of how to achieve something or something. Yeah. But my God, it's just like, you know, approach the person. If it's really bothering you, approach them. Same with haters, too. If you have to use all your energy to bring down a person, use that energy somewhere else. use that energy to get that A like the person you're hating on in the class. Use that energy
Get on their level.
Yeah, to work out. Punch a punching bag. I don't know. But it's not worth it to bring down an individual because you want something that you don't have yet. I'm not saying you can't have.
Yeah.
That you don't have yet.
Or maybe you can have something better.
Yeah.
But you know, people don't get anywhere on hating. You know, you might get somewhere and everyone's like, cool, but then when you start hating on them, the people that helped you up, then they're going to help you right back down.
Yep.
So.
Because, you know, it's like, if I do bad on an exam, I mean, you know me.
Yeah.
Like, and say, like, you were like, oh, I got an A on the exam. I'm like, yo, girl, awesome. What did you do to study? Like, that's different than, ugh, I'm done with her. Like, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, who am I as a person?
Yeah.
To bring down that person because they achieved something that's so great.
Yeah. And don't hate somebody just because they hate you.
Yeah. Ooh, yes.
Because then you're like the same as them.
Yeah. Don't stoop to that level.
I don't know why you would hate somebody who's like jealous of you. But I mean, trust me, I've done it before. Like, I feel like I started to hate people, like certain people. But then in reality, like, again, it's not what they did, it's how I'm reacting.
Yeah.
You know? But.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, don't hate the hater.
Don't hate the hater. Just learn how to grow from that. Because you
don't hate the hater, but hate their action.
Yeah.
Those are two different things my parents taught me.
Yep.
You know, you don't hate anyone. You just hate their actions.
Yeah. And also, too, it takes a really big person. You cannot like what they do.
Yeah.
But, you know, maybe they are a good person.
Maybe they are. Maybe they mean well. Maybe they don't have any friends or have what you had in the past.
Yeah.
So maybe they don't know anybody. And maybe when you're born into a hateful family, that's all you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, just be mindful. Be compassionate. Because the world needs more compassion, guys.
I think, yeah. And I think listening to them, too. Because sometimes it takes a lot to sit down with, like, a downright, like, you, like, don't like that person because, like, they just keep running their mouth. But you know what? You sitting down with that person, you can learn a lot about them. And you're like, wow, okay, I get it. Still doesn't make it right. I'm not condoning that.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can learn a lot, like, oh, wow, okay, I see where this is coming from.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that, because isn't it funny? Didn't you have somebody in school hate on other people for getting bad grades until she got a bad grade? And
yes,
she went to you because she knows you don't hate people and you're not judgmental. So it's like, you know, when they, you know, they hate on people in their group of haters, but the moment they mess up or do something, they run to people who are non-judgmental, not haters, sweet people. And it's like, wow, like you can't even talk to them about your friends about that.
Yeah, it was this past semester.
Yeah.
I really felt for her because I could tell, like, she wanted to tell someone and needed someone's support. And I'm like, of course, like, who hasn't got a bad grade? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, and I could tell, like, it was worrying, but she needed, like, a person that she could trust that wouldn't run their mouth and hate.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like a ha 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 ha. Like, come on. Like, who am I? I've gotten bad grades before. Like, yikes.
I've gotten bad grades and had to go to Chick-fil-A and get that milkshake.
But it's just like, okay, I understand why you're coming to me because, yeah, you are one of the haters, actually. But it's funny when you're put in your place like that. Like,
but just you showing her compassion,
it made me feel better as a person.
You know, for her to be like, okay, maybe I want to be more like you because you're nice and respectful.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm never going to judge a person on bad grades. I'm never going to... It's not my place. It's not anyone's place.
Yeah.
So why? Like, unless they're doing some hurtful things to you. But who am I to judge someone on getting a bad grade? Who hasn't gotten one? So why does that deem me as a horrible person for getting a good grade by someone?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense.
But, I mean, those are their problems. We can't figure them out for them. They have to figure it out. And that's going to be another podcast. We have a lot of ideas, guys. Like, you can't help somebody that won't help themselves.
No.
And that kind of went along in our mental health, which was 2 episodes ago. That one I love, so go listen to it multiple times because it definitely
And it
helps
seemed
me.
like a lot of people really loved that episode, too.
Yeah, we
the
got
mental
like
health.
a lot of messages. And we're on Spotify, guys. I know we keep saying this, but go to Spotify. Like, seriously, all of our episodes are on there. Mm-hmm. And our website is out, right?
It's coming out in the next day and a half, 2 days.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Probably June 1st or 2nd. I'm so excited. We're
We'll
going to have
everything there, right?
Yep, we're going to have our episodes uploaded there, but we're also going to have resources, tools, like probably based off of the episode that we have.
Yeah.
I know we talked about, we wanted like a separate subsection of like how you can help in nursing school and even college.
Yeah, we're going to start doing more podcasts, and we can even do rants.
Yeah.
Start rants too. So we have a lot of ideas for you guys, so please just stay tuned. And if you guys have an idea, please comment on our photos, send us a message.
We see it.
We see it. We honestly do. It might take us a little while because we're busy, but
Yeah.
we see it and we appreciate it. Share our thing. Share it.
You
So-
can find us anywhere, like Becca said. Slowly Dying Podcast on Spotify, Slowly Dying RNs on Instagram,
Yeah.
Slowly Dying Podcast page on Facebook, where it's pretty much, you'll find us, like our picture will
Yeah.
probably pop up, so, but we're really
and our
excited.
most exciting is Snapchat.
Ooh,
That's
the
where our
Snapchat.
things are at. Snapchat.
Yeah. Slowly Dying RNs with a little alarm bell at the
So,
end of it. Can't miss it.
Definitely go at us because we're getting like every time I log on, it's like 30 new requests. So
Yeah. It's
hopefully
very
we'll-
touching to see too. And people are like, what are you all about? And you know, you're so nervous to say like, oh, well, we're a podcast. And they're like, yeah, because there's podcast in your name, but like send us the link. Like,
yeah, and they are like, we're gonna share this. Like we have so much support, and it's from like India. Like it's like not even like around us. Like it's all around the world.
I'm
so-
still kind of mind blown that person in Korea. Like,
that's- yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what?
And the fact that they're like, send me the link, we're gonna send it to our friends. You guys really helped us. Like, yes, this is what we're about. Like we're about helping others and
yeah.
putting our, making ourselves vulnerable because that's pretty much what we're doing when we sit behind these mics.
Yeah, and I was kind of nervous for it, but
These mics are great, guys.
again, thank you, Malno. I
Yes,
love these
thank
microphones.
you for sending them to us.
And
it
in
was
our,
a perfect gift.
in our cases too.
Oh my god, we got case, and they're like, we got handles. So we're gonna start recording at school when we go back.
Yeah, in our study
And we're
rooms.
gonna have to put like, do not record sign. Like we're recording in progress. Don't enter.
Do not enter this study
That'd be
room.
crazy, but I think hopefully we helped you guys with haters. We don't know if we're gonna do a part 3 or if we're gonna start a new topic, but that doesn't mean we're ever not gonna talk about haters again. So I think I'm all out of ideas right now.
Yeah,
What
me
about
too.
you?
Me
So,
too.
Hope you guys have a good rest of your day.
Yes.
Enjoy the summer. Hopefully quarantine 2020 is not,
Hopefully we shift into the yellow zone.
yes, into the green, into the pink. Well, that's not a color, but you know what I'm saying.
We can start going on
So,
vacations and
yeah.
everything and really live